to episode 22 of Four Comedians and a Hat. I am your host, Vincent Opper, the most successful comic to ever come out of Peevely, Missouri. We do want to welcome our comics here, but before we do that, I do want to remind you, if you're watching on a Mac or a PC, please click on the icon at the bottom right of the screen so you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, Gateway Comedy Scene. And if you are on a different platform, you just go to YouTube, Gateway Comedy Scene, and then you can subscribe to us there. Also like us on Facebook at Facebook Comedy Scene Friends, and you can follow us on Instagram at Four Comedians in a Hat. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing our first comic to my left, or is that my right? I don't know. Next to me, Mr. Kevin Wong. Everybody give Kevin a big hand.
Oh, thank you.
Kevin, tell us about yourself.
I am from the Bay Area, and I'm also another comic that looks like I live in my bedroom.
Okay. When you say the Bay Area, do you mean Green Bay or Tampa Bay?
I mean the center of the most expensive place to live out of the Bay Area.
Oh, okay.
San Francisco Bay Area, yeah, of all the bays.
All right, very cool. All right. Directly below Kevin, we have Lisa Landers. Everybody give Lisa a big hand.
Hey!
Lisa, tell us about yourself.
All right, well, I'm coming in with my Sparkle Bass hat. But actually, even though I look like I just came out of the wilderness or a bass fishing expedition, I live in LA. So comic out of LA.
So are you seriously a bass fisher person?
I do go fishing, not very often.
Okay.
All right, let me just say this. The hat has it. I mean, it's a sparkle bass and it's pink. Come on. I couldn't help myself when I was there, even though I don't fish every day.
The hat we use today is a sparkle hat. So, yeah, we got a kinship going here. And directly below me, we have Suwon Weaver. Everybody give Suwon a big hand.
Jazz hands from myself.
Yeah, tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm Suwon Weaver. I'm also in LA. I love Lisa Landers right there. And I have my plaid on for Lesbian Visibility Day. Yes.
Oh.
But sorry, you can't be part of the team, Lisa. So, you got your own thing going. I know, it's okay.
Right.
What else? I live with my mom. I love my mom. There we go.
Okay. I lived with my mom too, and as soon as I turned 18, I got out of there.
Oh, same story for me, but I had to move back because my dad died. So that's a cheery way to start this.
I don't want to go too deep into my psychological screwed up past with my relationship with my mother, so we will just start. Kevin, are you ready for the first question to come out of the hat?
Yes, I am.
All right. Kevin, live in any period of history, when would it be?
Oh God. I've had a fascination with the 1920s.
Really?
Yeah.
20s.
Yeah, the Roaring 20s. I'd love to see baseball back then. Like to see the mafia. I like to see a mafia hit, a little drive-by. I'm a little curious what that looks like. I've always liked how people dressed back then, and I can't believe that they actually work out in suits. So I would like to check that out.
So they would dress in a suit for the drive-by shooting.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like The Godfather, but earlier.
That's well, and maybe it moved a little more slowly. You can go out and you get dressed up, you put the suit on and do your drive-by. Wow.
Yeah, it was actually Godfather 1, I think, is around that time, right? Around the 20s. So yeah, there you go. That's kind of sexy. I always thought so.
The sexy drive-by.
Drive-by shootings are sexy. Wow. I did not know that.
Well dressed.
Well-dressed drive-by shootings has a lot of sex appeal.
Yep. It's what is it? Take the gun, leave the cannolis.
Right.
So are you one of these people that watches The Godfather every time it's on TV, no matter where it's at? You gotta sit down and watch.
I have never watched any of the Godfathers, but I do want to. Some of it, it's I know if I haven't seen it for now, it's just got to be Pride now. Like, you know what I mean? It's just I just kind of don't do it, but I do at some point. I just haven't had the time. I don't know. I said that we just had a pandemic, and I just my problem is I can't convince my roommate to watch it with me. That is the honest reason why I haven't watched it. So, and I don't want to watch it by myself.
It's not scary.
No.
I know, but it's something you want to share it with, right? It's more like a thing that you get to watch as opposed to just doing it by yourself. Like, you know, like it's a guilty pleasure, just kind of eating and just watching it. Like I did all three Godfathers. I don't know.
You know, my daughter, who's 20, she'll be graduating from college this year. About a year ago, she was over and The Godfather was on, and she's never showed any interest in any kind of mafia movie or anything like that. She sat there and watched the first one, couldn't wait for the second one. The second one came on next. And then I think she watched the third one, which I haven't even watched because I've heard it's not worth watching, but I was kind of surprised. Well, ladies, if you had a time in history you would like to live, when would it be?
You're not. Right, you're up, Lisa.
Oh, okay. I'm deciding as I just kind of drum my fingers together. When would I want to live? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe the 60s with all the hippies. You know, all the good vibes and stuff. I mean, I don't want to go too far back. There's no women's rights, or you can't vote or anything. You know, this would definitely be forbidden. I don't think I'd be allowed to wear that in what, the 1920s. I'd have to be like a flapper. So I don't want to go too far back. I want to be independent. So I guess the 60s. I think the 50s are still a little too
Stuck up.
uptight.
Yeah.
I'm going 60s, y'all.
Okay.
I like it. It's good outfits.
Yes.
Yeah, let your hair out.
Right.
Are you thinking, Suwon, or
Oh, you want me to go? Sorry, I'm supposed to just jump in.
jump in?
Well, I thought since it's on TV and whatever, I thought like the Bridgerton era.
Oh, okay.
Because it's the women do have a lot of power if you're not a slave, basically, if you're not, So, and then there's like lots of, I mean, I know it's fictional, Bridgerton, obviously, it's like the Regency era, but at least it was slightly more integrated, and then it went backwards to Victorian after that, I think, like the way we went in the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, just, I don't know, Bridgerton, right?
Yeah. See, I don't want to go too far back in history because I have to have air conditioning.
Yes.
I don't want to go back to the 80s because that was just a huge mistake.
But they did have air conditioning.
Yeah, but that's about all they had. The 70s were fun. I was a kid during the 70s and I loved the 90s. So I'd go back to the 70s, I think. That's pretty cool.
Good music.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Good music, bad heroin. The 70s.
How did it dip off from having fun in the 70s to just going, oh, I hated the 80s to the 90s was pretty cool.
The 80s were the kids of the hippies of the 60s, and we didn't know what to do with our parents. So we rebelled by wearing jam shorts and jazz caps and listening to techno music. That's what we did. Drove our parents crazy, I guess.
I skipped techno, but I definitely listened to new wave.
Some good stuff came. The Cars came out of the 80s. I like the Cars.
Awesome.
The group, not the automobiles. So, all right, Lisa, are you?
Hairspray metal. Don't forget the metal bands. Come on.
Oh, don't like the metal bands.
What? No
No,
big hair.
no. Lisa, are you ready for your first question?
Yes, let's hear it.
Where is the last place you'd be caught dead?
Ooh.
And the cemetery is not the answer, okay?
I was like, I was about to say that. I'm like, I'll just go for the cheesiest answer possible. Where would I be caught? Where would I not want to be caught dead? Well, quite literally in a in a gas station bathroom, but I think this is meant to be more like, where would I just not ever want to be? Where do I just not even?
Gas station bathrooms, good answer though.
Yeah, I'm telling you, some of them. I'll tell you know what? Here's some place I wouldn't want to be caught dead at, and this is very regional. You have to kind of know the place. Fourth wall, open mic, NoHo bathroom. It is far funkier than the worst gas station bathroom. It is just the most vile. It's like a little pit of hell is what it is. So that is going to be, for all you LA people watching, if you do the open mic, you know, I love Joe to death. It's a great place, but that bathroom, oh dear God, have mercy.
Especially after COVID. It was really, like I went in there once. I was like, really? Really?
Oh,
Still?
For
The
me, it's
only-
not. Go ahead.
the only good thing, you know, I'm like, you know, we should really be afraid of COVID, but if you've had exposure to the fourth wall bathroom, you've been exposed to so many things, you might already have immunity. I mean, so much happening in there.
Okay, paint a picture for me because you've really piqued my interest.
All right. Well, Suwon, you can help elaborate on this. First of all, it's backstage, which is just filthy. There's cobwebs, broken furniture. Some homeless people tried to get in the back door. So instead of just putting a good lock on it, he put some 2x4s and like semi-boarded it. So God forbid you just put a good lock on the door. Let's board like a vampire. Like, you know how you board doors for zombie apocalypse? That's how he boarded up the back door.
Yeah.
We're just fucked if there's a fire. But then you go into the bathroom. First of all, there's a few holes punched out of the most filthy drywall you've ever seen. Not to where it doesn't go all the way through, so you can't see in. But the door really doesn't lock well, and it's filthy. Like the sink has some black that I don't think ever comes out. There's just like some sort of porcelain has absorbed some sort of filth.
It just maybe has never been cleaned.
No, I think
imagine,
somebody
like, it's like-
sprayed something. The toilet, like in order to go, like for me, Suwon, I don't know about you, but it's like it's a very high hover. It's like I don't want to be anywhere near it, so it's a deep squat, but further back. You know, because you don't want to touch it. Like, you know, if you touch that porcelain, it's
pretty bad. It really
something
is.
horrible is
I
going to
think
happen.
Saying that you're going to have immunity really makes sense.
Is the letter grade outside of the fourth wall like a D, possibly?
They don't serve anything, but it would be a D. For
Thank
sure.
God they don't.
It would be an A minus the bathroom. Just kind of dragged it down to a D.
I'm not even sure why he went to that extent to board it up. I mean, if the homeless saw the bathroom, they just turn around and go right back outside.
That's true.
No one, once they're in, stays.
Oh, is this a unisex bathroom?
Yes.
Oh.
And those I'm sorry, guys, I'm going to male bash. There are some male comics there, and I mean, they tear it up.
Well, imagine it's like comedy on the hour, right? It's like they have open mics every hour of every day. And if it's, you know, I don't know, if it's 70% guys, I'm not sure.
I'm like,
You know.
don't save up and go to the bathroom there. My God, that's why you have a home.
And then it's hardly cleaned, like hardly. So then it's really bad. Like I would actually sometimes go to the police station next door. No joke. There's a police station right next door. I would walk in there and I just walk up to the counter and I'd be like, hi, can I use your bathroom? They just buzz me in and I'm not even kidding.
They're probably used to comics coming in. Can I use your bathroom? Oh,
Did you do that, Lisa?
yeah.
I have not. I'm a little terrified of the police. But,
Well, yeah, but I mean, this was before the pandemic, so yeah.
I might, now that you bring it up. Now, I mean, if
You're
people
a
are just
blonde white lady. I think you'll be fine.
boldly ask me, just boldly, like I stay away from the police stations. I didn't realize you could wander in and be like, "Hey, can I use your
No,
bathroom real quick?"
I've done it many times because it's clean and it's divided and it's
Oh.
perfectly decent.
Well, I'll do that. Report back.
Yeah.
I don't really care where or how I die. I just don't want to be doing something really stupid when I die. Like,
Yeah.
like Michael Hutchins and those people who accidentally hang themselves doing autoerotic asphyxiation, or, like the, what was his name? The crocodile hunter, who,
Carradine or Cassidy.
yeah,
Maybe Cassidy.
I don't want to be doing something like, deciding, hey, I wonder if this snake's poisoned, and start getting
I'm right on par with you, Vincent. I mean, being a child of the 80s and 90s, it doesn't matter where I would die. I just don't want to be caught with porn in the VCR. That was my biggest fear. Not want to be caught with that. So
I had friends, and they actually had a plan. If something happened to them, they had a trusted friend who was to go into the house and take all the pornography and adult toys and get rid of them. So their kids wouldn't know that their parents were sexual beings, I guess. I don't know.
But they're like, please go in quickly and remove everything from the house. My God, what's going on in there? I mean, good for them.
Yeah. But they lived, and their kids are adults now, so I guess they don't care anymore.
Yes, they lived.
And they've given up on sex. That sounds like.
Well, if they have all these toys that people actually have to go in and remove, they're like, quickly, if we pass, immediately invade the house and take all of it out.
I went to a Baptist college, and we had an administrator there who was probably in his 70s. And he was a little meat guy, very sweet. Everybody liked him. His name was Hut. And Hut died. And when they cleaned out his office, they found pornography in there.
Oh my God.
Well, I guess he was healthy.
he's normal.
That's healthy and normal.
Are you allowed to do that if you're a Baptist minister, though? Like, what are the rules there? Probably, I don't know.
The rules are this: when you're a Baptist minister, you must hide your porn so good that nobody knows where it's at. Suwon, are you ready for your first question?
I am ready.
Oh, I love this. If you knew you could not fail, what would you do?
Oh. Huh. I mean, there's like the obvious answer, like, let me just have my Netflix special right now,
That's right.
Yeah, right. Like, and then great, because yay, I don't have to worry. Everything's going to be perfect. But is that, I don't know, like, how else can I answer that question? No, I mean, really, that would be it. What else would I want?
How close are you to that Netflix special?
I have no idea. I don't even have any idea how these things happen. So, I mean, I've been doing comedy for maybe 5 years. If I put it all together, like I had a big break, like an 8-year break somewhere in between. So like 3 years consecutively, and then 2 years before. So I don't know, when does the Netflix special come? I have no idea how that works.
I feel like in St. Louis, there's a comedy scene of probably about 150 active to semi-active comics. And so it's very crowded because we're not that big of a metropolitan area, and you have to claw and fight your way for stage time. And it's tremendously difficult to see this. I don't, difficult is not the word. It's tremendously unbelievable when I see the comics that have come out of St. Louis. Nikki Glazer, Greg Warren, these people who, how did they push themselves up to the top of St. Louis, let alone go national? And, I'm still fighting for, my 5 minutes here, my 7 minutes there, so on and so forth.
How long have you been doing it?
5 years.
Okay.
But
yeah.
I got in when I was 50, so I know I'm never going to have a Netflix special.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
I mean, Phyllis Diller didn't start until she was in her 40s, right? Like,
she's also from St. Louis, by the way.
Oh,
look at that. See?
Yeah. But I don't know. I could be the next Phyllis Diller, except I am nothing like her. Okay.
Do you want a Netflix special, Vincent?
Well, who wouldn't?
right.
Number one, but is that my ultimate goal in comedy? No, that's not like my ultimate goal. So, me and a friend, we produce shows in the St. Louis metro area, and that's what I love doing is giving stage time to comics. We are fortunate enough we can fly in headliners from around the country, bring them to venues that don't have a whole lot of comedy. We do very well. We sell out most shows. So if this is as good as it gets, I'm pleased.
That's awesome.
Well,
nice.
I'd say do what you love. Do what you love. Don't do what everybody wants. I think everybody wants the same thing. But if you do what you love, that's joy as is. That there's something there that nobody has. It's what you're enjoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really well said, for sure.
Aside from comedy, what else, if you just couldn't fail, what else would one of you three want to do?
Be the next Elon Musk. I do that for the next Tim Cook, or just have my own company. I can't fail. Whatever I say, it's gonna work. It's definitely gonna work. We're gonna have an iPhone 7 million. That's all it is. It's gonna be $7 million, and everybody's gonna buy it. And I just get rich. So I don't know. It's just anything. I think anybody that just broke ground is just, how do they do it? I just don't get it. They've done so well, and they obviously had great support, and they've also had a great imagination. So anybody that has a great imagination, I would gladly do anything accordingly.
Kevin, are you ready for your second question?
Oh, okay.
Sometimes unfolding is the hardest part. Meet any historical figure. Who would you choose and why?
God damn it. I've always hated this question. I've never, who would you want to eat with the three people at a living or dead at a dinner table? And I just could never think of one. If I could choose one, and I don't want to eat up time, I'd say Babe Ruth. I'm a little bit curious on what his appetite is, what he would choose to eat. I'm pretty sure he's got great stories.
Baseball fan.
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Living or dead?
I want to meet Joe Rogan.
Oh.
I do. Because I want to, he's had a really interesting career trajectory, at least in entertainment. I mean, he's been on TV, he's created his own podcast, he's a stand-up. So he's done pretty much everything. And I think it would be really interesting to sit down and just be able to talk with him for like an hour and find out, how he did it. Like really the nitty gritty, not just, what you gloss over and, on an interview, but like really, did he come here and start doing open mics? Did he, how did he move forward from, being like a nobody in the comedy scene to where he is now? So, and how he got the breaks, for all of that. So I find people's career trajectories to be really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like those answers. That's awesome. I wonder, I was thinking right away, like somebody historical like Martin Luther King, I thought,
oh yeah,
that it would be pretty fascinating to, like what, like how he had the courage to do everything that he did. I mean, I know that's like maybe a cliche to say something like that, to say him, but I feel like, I know he was like a preacher's son and maybe he had a natural oratory talent, but he was such a major leader. And how do you let yourself do that? Like, how does that push forward? How do you push forward? And it was so scary. Like, to me, I feel like times are even scary now a little bit, like more than they've been in the past. And like terrifying. My God.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, he would be super interesting, just to have that whole trajectory. How did you do it and how did you overcome, and what was the, where was your mindset, just to get those really wonderful little nuggets of knowledge that people get as they move ahead. Yeah, he'd be fascinating.
What I think would be interesting about Dr. King, people saw the public persona of him. Mm-hmm. There's an interview. He was a guest one night on the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. And there's an interview with him and Johnny, and he's just being himself, I guess you can say. And he's just talking as a normal person. And I find that so fascinating because all the audio and video clips that we have of him, he's in this leadership role,
right? Very
important leadership role, doing his thing. But in this interview, you kind of got a peek at what happens when the door shuts. He kicks up his feet, turns on the TV or whatever.
We're out of Washington this afternoon, and as soon as we started out, they notified us that the plane had mechanical difficulties, and that kept us on the ground a good while. And finally, we took off and landed, and whenever I land after mechanical difficulties, I'm always very happy. Now, I don't want to give you an impression that as a Baptist preacher, I don't have faith in God in the air. It's simply that I've had more experience with him on the ground.
I think that would be fascinating to talk to him, aside from this great leadership thing that you do in leading this great movement. What do you do day to day? How do you live your day?
Yeah.
And he
I
was
would
so
like
young,
to.
man.
What's that?
He was so young too.
Yeah.
Like, barely in his 40s or something, I think, when he got killed, right?
Yeah. I would like to know if he just got used to being aware that he's probably going to be assassinated. He's a target. I mean, he was aware of it because he had what we would call today an entourage with him, and part of their deal to be with him was to protect him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, I'd go ahead.
I'm just saying, I'm liking your answer there.
Mm-hmm.
I am very curious on if he would share, because Jackie Robinson, the same issue with him is he never brought his work home, and we knew that he had death threats. We knew he couldn't eat with his teammates, and the reason why Brian Trickey chose him was because he had that temperament of dealing with it, with being heckled. That like he wasn't the best player in the Negro Leagues, but he just had that temperament of I can take it. So I wonder if Martin Luther King had the same thing too, that he could actually block it out and maybe not share with his family like how he really felt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
God. I could take it. Is that, did he say that? He said in an interview or?
For Jackie Robinson or? No, well, it was a thing that was kind of known. Like he never said, I could take it or anything like that. But it was just kind of known that he wasn't the best player, but he was just a guy that had the temperament of not lashing out, just kind of blocking out the negativity and just, performing as opposed to, going back and like, hey, what'd you say? And stuff like that. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's just like the history of so many Black people of having to like just take it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lisa, are you ready for your second question?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay. What is something unexpected that has changed about you in the last few years?
Okay, let me repeat this back. Something unexpected that has changed about me
In the last few years. Yes.
My hair color? I've gone darker. I've been bright blonde forever, but in the pandemic, I had to go dark.
Lisa, that's adorable. See,
I wish my life was so smooth that was the worst thing that had happened to me was my hair color had changed.
I mean, that's the most adorable Midwestern answer that you could give.
Thank you. I'm like, this is what pops into my head. I'm like, oh.
Her Midwestern values. I just love it.
Thank you. I know you're recommending that for my for my eventual Netflix special.
Yes.
I've always been like super platinum blonde, and you can't see it really here in the light, but I've had to go darker, like more into my dirty blonde. I've had to go back to the dirty blonde roots. It's dramatic and life changing.
That's your second Netflix special, Dirty Blonde Roots.
Thank you. Thank you. Let me think about this. I might come up with something really deep and thoughtful that's really happened to me. I mean, there's a lot of bumps in the road here. That's the one that surfaced first. All right, somebody else. Let me think about this. I'll come up with something.
I could say I feel like I'm a lot more like I don't know can we swear on here? I forget.
Hell no.
Hell no. Okay. Well, like I don't care as much, like about.
You were gonna say I don't give a fuck. You can say that, okay?
Yeah, well, I wasn't sure. I was gonna say, giving no fucks, giving less fucks at least, like just kind of showing up and like I'm fine. Like I don't have to be apologetic and like I feel like I'm so nice. I tend to be like an overly nice person, and I don't want to get rid of that, but I feel like I can just show up and I'm good. Which is it's huge, I think.
100%. I agree. I think because of the pandemic, we've all kind of given up stuff that we cared about, like our parents or whatever. And for me, it's been an introvert's paradise. It's like I'm in my own domain. So this is the most comfortable I feel. And if I do share, it's like I'm sharing from a comfort spot as opposed to being on stage or, in a room full of strangers. So I feel the exact same. I do feel like I give less fucks.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, my wife and I are both introverts, and we've discussed how the pandemic doesn't bother us. Yeah. So I'll tell you one thing with the pandemic, my comedy has changed because I started off with this nice guy, kind of middle-aged guy, and my material since the pandemic has become much more salty and edgy. And
Yay.
as my business partner said, this middle-aged pissed off guy is working for you on stage, and it wasn't like a conscious thing. It just kind of evolved into that, I guess.
Would you say you're more authentic?
Yeah, because the backdrop of that is, I went from being, my roots way back in the 90s, I was a Baptist minister, and now I'm a humanist. So that transition, the final phase of that transition has happened since I started comedy. So that has reflected. I have less patience with religious people today than I've ever had before. And I've always had my problems with religious people, even whenever I was a minister. The complete facade, the way religious people live their lives, can you be fucking real, but with that transition, the pandemic has kind of finished off that transition into being a humanist, and that's also, that's been reflected on my jokes on stage. I mean, some of it's a little mean-spirited, I guess you could say.
But they're jokes.
Yeah, they are jokes. I did a set, about a month ago, and I was actually bumped, and it pissed me off because the comic that bumped me, I thought, no, this guy's not better than me. I've been on stage with him before, and my whole thing was, I'm going to go up there and I'm going to blow him out of the water. And I did.
Nice.
And when I was finishing my set, I told the audience, I said, I'm sorry, I'm so pissed off tonight. So that's how I finished.
But it sounds like they loved it.
Oh yeah, they loved it. Everybody likes a cranky middle-aged guy.
Wow.
I like it. I think it's just like when people see the real you, like the part that, like you don't mean to show people, but it comes through because that's like who you really are. I don't mean like deep inside. I mean, just like on this certain level, like they kind of get it. Like,
Yeah.
oh, that's who that guy is.
Oh, I love it. I mean, it also gives us courage to fly our freak flag. The moment that when somebody says, "Hey, I'm into this," and you go, "Oh, that's me too." Like, it was the murder mystery stuff. I've always kept that to myself. I love Datelines and stuff like that. The moment I heard a friend do her bit on stage, I was like, "Yes," and they just made me go, "Maybe I should share my story too." So
Hey,
I think that's
Kevin, Keith Morrison's my hero.
the guy that speaks in riddles. Who's it? Who's outside? Who could it be?
And why do you think he murdered her? Could it have been infidelity? Have you seen Bill Hader do him? Oh gosh, Bill Hader does a great Keith Morrison.
I can imagine.
It's hilarious. All right, Suwon, are you ready for your final question?
I am ready.
Final question of the evening. Drum roll, please. You have an endless supply of any food. What would you get?
Oh.
That's a good one. Well, I would say sushi, but then that's an endless amount of parasites, so no thanks.
It will catch up with you, yes.
Yeah, no, that's not a good idea. So because I just said that, I mean, I guess I love Italian food. I would say Italian. I don't know, right? Like, I mean, if I didn't have to get fat, I mean, I gain weight easily. So, well, I like sauce. I like a nice sauce, is what I'm saying.
I think in this question, like you can eat whatever and nothing will happen. You'll be like a size 2.
Oh, okay. And no parasites?
No parasite.
Okay, well then we'll go back to sushi. Yeah.
Great.
Lisa, you looked really excited when you heard the question, so I want to know what popped into your mind.
I did. I'm on a Costco pizza bender right now.
Oh.
Honestly, I feel like, I here I am with this whole look, and I'm drinking a LaCroix. But it would be more appropriate if this was a Pabst. It would just complete the entire look. Be like, well, she'll exist off Costco pizza and some Pabst. We believe it in this outfit. This water's a little too bougie for my look tonight, but
What is it about Costco? The hot dogs are good. The brats are good. The desserts are good. The pizza's good.
Yeah. The
That's
price
all-
is good. The price is good.
it's so good.
How did you do this? It can't be real.
The Diet Coke is perfectly formulated. The fizz and or wait, I think it's Diet Pepsi there, but whatever it is, it's like just perfect. The combination for the Diet soda is just.
What do you think, Kevin? What are you gonna eat?
I would go with Red Rope's licorice. I think kind of like Garth in Wayne's World has that endless supply from his Mirthmobile. That or Wiener Schnitzel chili cheese dogs.
Oh.
I am addicted to those. So I haven't had that in a while, but yeah, those two.
Some bougie fuckers, you guys.
Not yet. I would have the Reese's Fast Break candy bar.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
The best thing I've ever put in my mouth that I can say in public. The best thing I've ever put in my mouth. I'm diabetic, so I can't have them. But being, you're doing no parasites, you're not gaining any weight.
Right.
I'm not gonna die and lose a leg. Okay.
No, you would
lose a leg
not.
before you
In
die.
this circumstance, no. The diabetes would not be present at all.
Very good. Or I can just eat it, and just instead of having a little injection of insulin, like shove a gallon of insulin in me, and it'd be good.
No diabetes from this. Built
All right.
into the question.
We need to wrap this up. I do want to thank our guests. Once more, everybody, a big hand for Kevin. Thank you, Kevin.
Well, thanks for letting me do this.
Big hand for Lisa. Thank you, Lisa. And Suwon, thank you. Great big hand. And the jazz hands are back, okay?
Thank you so much.
All right, let's take a
Remember-
picture.
A picture?
Yes, we have to do. I'm gonna do like a.
I
I'll just do it on the camera. Everybody, smile, look cute, fluff your hair, whatever. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Thank you. Thanks, Mom. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Picture, damn it.
Yeah.
Look, we have to do the social media.
Get your ass in the picture. Now smile.
Yes. Social
us.
media.
Go ahead.
So I'll tag 4 comics and a hat.
Very good. Very good.
Okay.
Join us next week for episode 23 for 4 comedians and a hat. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Vincent. Thanks for having me.
Thanks.
Awesome.